We'll be talking about a program that's actually in its sixth year, coming up on January 15th, A Promise to Keep. We'll have a couple of great guests to talk about it. Should be a great show. Stay tuned.
Seven 7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Welcome to Community Watch. I am solo for the time being this show. Greg hopefully will join us partway through. He had a meeting at Rome City Schools, and you can't say no to Rome City Schools. So hopefully he'll be joining us as we go along. And our show today is about a very special program coming up that we wanted you to know about, especially this month, January, which is an important month. And the day that it occurs is an important day. But our guests today are Willie Mae Samuel, who is a great regular. I think you've been on the show more than any other guest we've had. I think that's probably true.
If so, that's great.
It is. And also Bishop Norris K. Allen Sr., welcome.
Bless you.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much. I hope your holidays were wonderful days, and let's brace for 2019.
Yeah, we've gotten a good busy start to 2019, so
Right.
The holidays are kind of a distant memory right now, but it was nice to have a kind of a break
little
briefly.
break.
But
Okay.
I don't get the sense that you take much of a break because you are always working on something.
There's always something to work on. You know, and I always say there's something for everybody to work on. You can't be on everything, but there's something for everyone to do. So I take that approach.
Now, I was unaware that this program is in its sixth year. Is that right?
This is
Yes.
a unique kind of a situation because we've got several things tied into one thing, okay? Dealing with Students of Excellence Scholarship Foundation, which is a foundation that he founded years ago. And of course, these are the babies that are in it, and it's a unique way as to how it operates. We've got one young lady that's going to be graduating, and when she graduates, then another individual will join this, keep 16 children at all times in this foundation. But what we're celebrating this time is the fact that the January 15th, of course, is the actual birthday for I'm making him president, for Martin Luther King. And on that day, that was actually the day that he was born, and so that's the day that this is celebrating, and it will be next Tuesday, and we are hoping that the community will respond to it. We do know we have a program that weekend coming up, which is not connected with this necessarily, other than that we're celebrating and remembering the same man, Dr. Martin Luther King. And so we're calling this Remembering Our Past, that it might help us to forge the future, because we do know that we got to remember the past in order that we go forward and not go back over the same things that happened to us in the past. So we're forging for the future. And the only way we can forge for the future is to make sure we're remembering our children, our babies, our young people, that they might be connected to the past as well. Not that they really want to know about it, but we want to make sure that we put it in front of them, that they might learn about their past.
Well, let me ask, the event, and I want to hear more about the scholarship program too, but the event itself is on the evening of Tuesday, January 15th.
Correct.
Is that
Right.
And there's a speaker.
There's going to be a speaker, keynote speaker, and a well-known keynote speaker is going to be here. He is Fred, connected with the Morehouse and all of the things that are involved in our past, SCLC, just everything. He has been connected with that. So he's going to be our keynote speaker that night. However, that's because we're dealing with 65 years, we're going to have a section that's going to deal with those 65 years, like taking 1964 and bringing us up to 2019. And we'll have people that's going to be depicting or portraying various icons, various historical people during that time period at a particular year. And some of them, all of them are local people. Of course, we're going to have he's going to be singing a song. We're going to have Martha Davis, and we're going to have Reverend Carrie Ingram, and Janice Morrissey is going to play a part, and Bernice Howell, and Milton Slack. All of those will be playing a particular icon that is a part of our past.
Well, that sounds, it sounds great, but it sounds like more than just a celebration of history, but an educational program as well.
Yes, we have the characters that are portraying these individuals. We want them to make it an entertaining kind of thing, like whoever's representing Dick Gregory, we want his personality to come out as a comedian that he was. And of course, Dr. King's speeches, no matter what, you can't do anything but receive those. Reverend Ingram loves doing that. He did them about maybe 30, 40 years ago on a program that I had, and he just loves doing it. So he'll be doing that part. And so this is going to be more than just, as you said, just an educational thing, because people like to be entertained and they like to eat. So there's also going to be dinner or banquet style setting. People will be eating something.
All right. So there will be, I guess, we don't really call it a play, but it'll be a program.
Right, and that program, as I said, is going to be, we're talking about 65 years from 54 to 2019. We're going to do a little trail from 1954 up to 2019, and each person will represent a year in our history. And we are hoping that, as I said, it will be an entertaining kind of representation. We try to take the boring history and the boring educational part out of it and let it be entertaining. So we're practicing to make sure that it is not just.
I have no doubt that it will be. But you have a keynote speaker and a meal as well.
Keynote speaker and a meal as well.
So it sounds like a full evening. And
it will be starting at 6 o'clock, but now he doesn't like long programs, and I don't like long programs, and so he has been telling these people, look, no longer than, I want you talking any longer than two minutes. If you got to be up there longer than 2 minutes, I'm going to have them ring a bell. I said, no, you can't do that. You can't have them ring a bell. But so, and you're right, and so for those in the listening audience, know that you got two people who do not like long, drawn-out programs. So we're trying to set it up so that it will flow very quickly. Only thing that they're going to have control over is to eat fast and and get through and not choke on anything. But yeah, we'll do that.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be fed. You're going to have an entertaining program with some education in there.
Right,
You can-
yeah.
Some education and a well-known speaker.
Yes.
So it sounds like a great evening.
We're planning for it to be.
Yes, planning to be one of the greatest programs I enjoyed being a part of.
Yeah.
And I see that it's going to be at the Lovejoy Joy Life Center.
Lovejoy
That's
Life
right.
Center, right.
Now, is there a fee? Is there a ticket price?
Right, there's a ticket price. We're asking adults for $45, and we're asking seniors. I think you might be considered a senior.
I feel
We're
senior.
going to ask you we're not asking you for the 45, but for 35. It's $10 less. And then, of course, we have students that are coming. They will be paying $35. And we have some adults who want to come in because we do want adults to come and not leave the children home. I remembered one year Jose Williams came up and we had this big banquet going on, and he said, "Where are the children?" We had no children, just a bunch of us there who should have known everything that he was telling us. So we want to make sure that the children come, and their fee is $15 for them to get in. Knowing Bishop, he probably will let them come in. If a parent's got more than one child, he'll probably work an
That's right.
adjustment
We'll
out
work
for
with
that
that.
as well. So, okay.
Well, for all that you're getting in that evening, I mean, that's a great price, and the money's being used also for this program.
That's
Right, right. You know, other than the expense of doing the program, it goes into the scholarship fund. So we're asking if anyone is going to make a donation that they put the name Overcoming Church of God, but make sure that we have the Scholarship of Excellence Foundation as a memo that is to go into
All right.
to that.
Well, I want to hear both about some additional details about the program, but also about the Scholarship Foundation.
Okay.
And we have a few minutes before our break, so let's get started. And tell me a little bit about how the Scholarship Foundation works.
Okay, at this point, it's how old?
Yes.
How old
It's
is it?
6 years.
6 years old?
Yes.
Okay, for
This
6
will be
years,
6 years.
these individuals, these students, have been a part of that, and they'll communicate. We have one that's from Ethiopia. All the others are from the States. And as they graduate, when they graduate, then that means there's a slot for another child to enter the Scholarship Foundation program. And so we have one that's coming out. She's in 11th grade.
Yeah.
She'll be coming out. When she comes out, then information will go out to organizations, and Bishop right now is thinking about whether he wants to deal, because his interest is in the business. He started the Business Association here in Rome and was over that for many, many years. And so right now he's thinking of maybe looking at the businesses and seeing if their children might take priority as to who's going to be placed in the bucket, in the pot, and whose name is going to be drawn. And so we know one name, because when she graduates, there'll be just one slot left. But if you notice, we have some that are two in the 8th grade and 3 in the 9th grade. So when those 2 graduate, then 2 other names will be placed in the lineup of students.
All right, so there are 16 students that are in this foundation program.
Right.
And upon graduation, they receive a scholarship.
Yeah, a portion scholarship, to further their education from high school and beyond. That's right.
And so
They have to keep the grades
Yeah,
up.
they gotta-
They
all the
got
way
to-
all the way through.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right, so once a child is chosen and enters the lineup, they can be quite young.
That's
Yes,
right.
they are,
First
because
and
we've
second
got some
grade.
first graders,
Yeah,
first
and
and second grade.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how young they be.
All right, so they're selected in elementary school, and they have to maintain grades all along.
Maintain contact, respond to calls or whatever means of contact, and keep those grades up.
Yeah, certain.
And assuming that they have done those things throughout their grade school years, then they receive a scholarship on graduation.
Right.
That will help them in
Go
the next
to
step.
further there is right. And it can be a technical school. It doesn't have to be college, because we've learned that college is not for everyone. A lot of students need to go and get a trade, and so it doesn't have to be college.
Well, we're coming up on our break. When we come back, more discussion about the scholarship program and the event to help support it. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Your life is filled with opportunities to show the world you can take charge. It's waking up each day with a mission. It's working each day toward a goal. It's choosing to rise. It's charging forward with a purpose. It's changing the course of your life and taking charge of your future. If you're ready to be a Take Charger, enroll at Georgia Highlands College today.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been having a conversation with Willie Mae Samuel and Bishop Norris K. Allen Sr., and we have been joined by Greg Shaw.
Thank you, Doc.
Good to see you.
You too.
Now
been
that
a
you're
minute.
here, I can relax and you can just ask all the questions.
Oh no, it's dealing with scholarships, so I'm quite sure you
I'll have
had
a few. I'll have a
you had
few.
a lot of
I'll
questions.
have a few.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Do you know about this scholarship program?
I must admit that I am not as informed as you.
Well, I'm only informed because I had an explanation, or a partial explanation in our first segment, but this program has 16 students in it. As a student graduates from high school, assuming they have kept up their grades all the way through and been responsive and attentive, they receive a scholarship for the next step, whatever the next step is. And then as one receives a scholarship, then a new student will be added to the group to take that student's place. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, that's right. A
That's,
memo.
Everything's right.
Community to have a student that is in the first and second grade. All depends on how many graduate. 2020 we have one, so we have one selection. Then 2021 it's going to be two. We ask for whoever have a group that will draw names from the student that kept up and maintained the grades to replace them. It always will remain 16 students in the scholarship foundation. The reason why we started in the first and second grade, they are staggered. You know, you won't be all come out at one time. They'll
Right.
come out dropping off. I think 1 year, 2022, I believe we had 3. That's the most. Then it probably dropped back down to 1, 2, then
If they keep up their part of the deal.
yeah, that's right. If they-
Right, because if you may have 3 8th graders here now,
That's right.
but then for
May
year
not all be
passes
there
and
at
they
the
don't all
finish
move
line.
to 9th grade at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah.
So is that part of it is to identify, I guess, and provide an additional support for those students? Because I'm assuming if you identify them in first and second grade, you're already making an investment in them.
Right.
So it's providing that additional support to say, look, we're pouring into you, we're investing in you, so
Right.
that these students know, not just their parents, the churches, but people in the community are already investing in you, to kind of provide that extra support.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
We depend upon the parents to help them maintain the teachers. We appreciate them on our dealing with them individuals. And if they do what they're supposed to do, as they go through the year, they got a requirement to read books in the summer and report back to the foundation, make sure that they are keeping everything. It goes not only in and they got to have good character, you know, as well, through doing this school terms and at home and abroad.
But the main thing for this 15th, on the 15th, is that we're actually celebrating the fact that if Dr. King had lived, he would be 90 years old. And so we want to always remember that. And of course, we do know that we are also celebrating President Obama's inaugural address, was 10 years. So as I was telling you, that it's a mixture of things going on all at one time. And since it's not done every year, you do it every
5 years. This particular program.
So much piles up that you know, and he's trying to probably do quite a bit in this one setting. But the main thing is that we're celebrating the history of our people and how it connects with Dr. King and President Obama, and so it's going to be that celebration. And I don't know if you were aware of Fred Taylor, which is what I'm sure you know, Dr. Fred Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Is connected with Morehouse as well, isn't he?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
I do have a question, though. Now, I see this is on the 15th. Now, is this part of the King 4-day celebration, or is it separate from?
It's separate from. It's just his desire was to always make sure we not forget the actual birth date. And I think you might have remember we went to the Camelot Ball that was down down on Broad Street.
1909.
And I don't think I went to the second one, but anyway, it's to always remember that the 15th was actually his birth date, and that's what we celebrate, his 90th birthday.
Now, I have a question. So now, how much are tickets for students for the banquet?
A student's $35. Now, if a student comes with the parent, it's $15.
That's right.
So if I come with some mentees,
that's what he hadn't worked that out, but I think he just thought about it after we got on here, because I do know that he's the kind that's going to make whatever adjustments need to be made to get some children there, because Jose was saying, where are the children? Y'all sitting up in here, you grown folks sitting in here. We need some children in here. So if it's about the children, then we have to make adjustments for the children.
We will make adjustment for the kids, probably just a little bit above cost, because we would say that if a group, or the boys club or whatever, I can rate them within half price of without a parent, without a parent.
So if you have children or several children, you need to check with somebody before you say, I can't afford it.
Yes, because he's going to make some adjustments. The only thing is, we have to remember when you're serving food, that ties your hand as to how low you can go.
Yeah. That's
right.
Because when you got a plate, if it's a plate for a child or a plate for an adult, that price is going, that caterer is going to charge that same that price.
But I'm under the philosophy that we pay for everything else. We pay for these expensive tennis shoes.
Oh, don't we?
So sometimes we make allowances, but we seem to find money when we want to find it for stuff that sometimes is not of. But I'm just thinking that this would be a great opportunity to have some of our students from B2B and our 100 mentees, to be present, because I do think too many times, and this is a parenting and community issue, we allow our kids to miss important things.
That's right.
I can remember growing up, I had to go to a lot of functions I didn't want to go to, but I'm thankful now. That's right, now. Because I didn't understand then the importance of that. So sometimes I think we as parents and people in the community, we have to make sure our children are present, especially with something as big as this. When you're talking about Dr. King and President Obama, I mean, you really don't get any bigger than that in America. Right. And to have a celebration for Dr. King's 90th birthday and the 10th anniversary, the inaugural anniversary for President Obama, I think is something that we need to have students there.
But Rob Shaw, what made me more interested in this particular program, we already stated every 5 years, but as I went to both inauguration, I had seen parents with kids and they was enjoying it. That's a lifetime. To go and be a part of it. And by the way, in this same program, Mrs. Norman Williams is the one that led the 8 students, white student, but me, I'm excited about it. She's in touch to be there, to be at this event. She led 8 of them. And also, they was at the auditorium for the puddle as we return. So we're excited about in both areas of this program, and we're hoping that everybody.
So the
is
main thing
enjoying it.
is, let's get some young people there and adjust the cost, or if there are organizations
I
that
know that.
that will sponsor them, that would be great as well.
Now I know I'm coming in late, so I got a lot of questions. So is it a banquet or is it it's a banquet?
Banquet we got it formal and semi-formal about that, but you know, kids, we understand that. You know, group
No,
kids coming in.
Students in the
No.
100 gonna have on
No,
jackets.
he
They're gonna
I
have
want
on
you
ties
to stop
and
lightening up.
yeah, they're gonna.
That's good. Anyway.
They're gonna have on jackets and ties. Yeah.
And they love to dress up, don't
Yeah.
they?
Well, I
Actually,
got mine.
we had 2 students not too long ago. We took to a dinner,
Okay.
and all the members were in suits and everything, and the young men they wasn't in suits, and they said, "Man, I gotta get a suit." They
Okay.
said to us, "I gotta get a suit."
That's wonderful.
And so
Well,
yeah,
I'm glad you said that because I did inform mine. I got several young people, young men. They said they were wearing their tie.
at least wear a tie. Yeah, you can wear a
Bow
tie. If you don't
yeah.
have a suit, you can at least wear a tie.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay, that's where it's formal and semi-formal.
So where do folks get tickets?
Well, you can get tickets from me and pay out. They call it. Excuse me.
PR,
Pay-
he didn't bring the
Pay-
contact information, but his wife is setting it up where you can pay.
It's already
PayPal?
Call it pay app. It's
PayPal.
different. I don't think
Yeah.
it's PayPal.
PayPal.
It is PayPal?
PayPal?
Pay that directly into. I'm not for me.
I don't think it's PayPal. He told me something different,
Yeah.
but just let them know that
Excuse
they can get tickets. Online.
But I can get mine from you, right? From Bishop.
You can get yours from me.
Man, can I see that too? So
But,
I'm just curious now. Looking at now, is there a mechanism in particular for selecting these students? I mean, I know you have one Ethiopia, and most of them from Rome, but is there a particular method
Criteria.
to how we're selected?
Okay.
Well, I have told him to have that ready
Okay.
for the 15th to hand out to people so that they will know
Okay.
the criteria. You know, that's not the criteria.
No,
that's,
not
that's,
on the criteria. Just
I mean, like, what do you look at in the child and how all of the details? We don't have that. He didn't put that in.
But
his
y'all
folder.
will have it though.
Yes,
Yeah, we
he'll
will.
bring that for that
Well,
night.
we've got about 30 seconds left, so I should say when people want to get tickets.
Okay.
All right, let's give a phone number. Let's
Okay.
put a
Give-
phone number.
Now, there's
If
a phone
anyone-
number on
Yeah, city of the
on
program.
the ticket itself.
Yes, on the.
But I mean, let's give a
Yes,
phone
let's
number.
give a
Can we get
phone
a phone number over on the air right here?
You sure?
Okay.
This one on the tickets?
Is
that
it
good?
770
Is that yours?
547 8369? That's
Okay.
right.
Give it one
And,
more time.
I'll give it, we've got to take a quick break, but when we
Okay.
come back from the break, I'll give you that number again. And don't go away.
$145 over 92.
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack, a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent. Get back on your plan or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Hold on.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been talking with Willie Mae Samuel and Bishop Norris K. Allen Sr. about a Promise to Keep event coming up on the 15th of January at the Joy Life Center of Lovejoy. If you want tickets and more information, call this number, 770-547-8369. The event is at 6 o'clock on the 15th. You don't want to miss it. Thank you all for being with us, and thank you. We'll see you next time on Community Watch.